हमारे प्राण हो, हमको तुमसे प्यार है। We love you, dearest Lord, we love you. We love you, dearest Lord, we love you. We love you. We love you.
भक्ति भक्त भगवंत गुरु चतुष्नाम बपुए, तिनके पद वंदन किए, मेटत विघ्न अनेक। जन्म दिया तूने साईं को, हम भी किया उपकार। जन्म दिया तूने साईं को, हम भी किया उपकार। ईश्वर अम्मा तेरा साईं, युग युग का अवतार, युग युग का अवतार। जन्म दिया तूने साईं को, हम पे किया उपकार। जग है मिथ्या, साईं ने सच्ची राह दिखाई। जग है मिथ्या, साईं ने सच्ची राह दिखाई। सबसे कर तू प्यार ये जीवन, बने तेरा सुखदाई। ऐसा दे उपदेश प्रभु ने, हम पे किया उपकार। ऐसा दे उपदेश प्रभु ने, हम पे किया उपकार। ईश्वर अम्मा तेरा साईं।
Good afternoon. Friends and family, near and far, on behalf of my family, my mother, my three sisters, Preen, Lisa, and Tracy, I want to thank you for coming today. We're here today to honor my father and to say goodbye. But I want to take a moment to acknowledge all of you, friends here, family here, and wherever you are. I thank you for being part of my dad's life, being part of our lives. My dad was a storyteller. I don't think I need to tell you. You all knew my dad, and what a great storyteller he was. So for me and for my family, the friends and family, particularly those in England and in Trinidad, growing up, they took on a legendary status for us. My dad, I remember lying with my father as a young boy, and I said to him, I said, Dad, when you were a young man, did you have a best friend? And he said, of course I did. I said, well, what was his name? And he said, his name was Sit Three Quarter, Boom Tack Tack, X Down to Board, Paleki. And I said, wow, Dad, but who was which of those was your best friend? He said, Andrew, that's all one person. And I thought, wow. All of these people took on such a legendary status. And for those in Winnipeg, in Manitoba, in Canada, that we came to know and love, maybe you don't have the legendary status of these figures from England and Trinidad, but we had the pleasure and the joy of sharing your friendship and your love. For mom and dad, there was no their friends and the kids' friends. All were our family. All were our family, our uncles, our aunts, our cousins. So I thank you for your love and your support over the years. So on behalf of my mother and my sisters, again, thank you so much for coming today.
Good afternoon and Sairam to all the people here. All the Maharaj family is very, very close to me since a long time. And Anirude ji is very, very close to me because the first time we met in a puja and he was very happy to meet me. And after that, we didn't meet many times, but whenever we met, we had long conversations. And I found him to be a very wise man. So we had a lot of discussions every time we meet, even briefly also. So every time he gave me so much love when I met him. And one day they called me to the house and he gave me a book. That book is very thick, very maybe 500-600 pages, 1,000 pages, and it had everything Sai Baba has spoken about every topic. That's a very nice book he has given me. And and as I see him and met him so many times, he is very, very spiritual man, very, very extremely spiritual, and understood the philosophy of Hinduism so well. So for someone like that, our scriptures say they don't need any rituals, really speaking, but we still do the rituals because the family does the rituals only to express their gratefulness for their parent rather than doing the ritual for the person who passed. So, because all the rituals are done only to wake up the soul to the fact that they have left the body. But for people who are spiritual, they consciously leave the body, and as a result, they don't need a lot of rituals to wake them up and ask them to travel to the other world. So we still do these rituals as a gratefulness towards parent for doing all the things for the family. I'll say a few verses which are a message to the soul. Then I'll say a few words about our funeral traditions. Om Agnaye Namaha. This is an offering to the fire god for Hindus. Fire god or the power of fire is extremely important and sacred. So we offer our prayers first to the fire god. Om Somaya Namaha. And this is Soma is a god of all experiences and enjoyments of this world. There is a special power for that. So we thank that God because he has given this opportunity to enjoy and experience this world. Om Lokaya Namaha. We also pray to this world itself. All these prayers are done by Anirude soul, expressing his prayers to all these elements. Om Anumataye Namaha. This is an offering to the Mother Earth. Everything in this world, including every fruit we see, every flower we see, is all made up of earth, including our bodies. Therefore, we thank the earth for giving him this body to experience and enjoy this world. Om Swargalokaya Namaha. This is the next world. There is many worlds according to our scriptures, at least 14 of them. But Bhur Bhuva Suvaha is we chant all the time. This Bhur and is the next world, and Suvaha is the next higher world. People who are extremely spiritual can go to the Suvaha Loka or Swarga Loka or heavenly abode. Om Suryam Chakshusha Gacha Vatamatmana Divam Chagacha Prudhavim Cha Dharmabhihi Apova Gacha Yati Tatrate Hitaha Oshadeshi Pratishta Shariraihi. As we believe that soul can take many births and take different planets and different dimensions, and also in this planet it can take different life kingdoms. So great soul, go to the sun through your eyes, go to the air through your prana or life energy, or you go to the space or come back to earth. Wherever your desires and actions take you, action check. So Om Ye Chit Purva Ruta Sata Rutaja Ruta Vritihi Rushim Tapasvato Yamatapojam Apigachatat. O great soul, you attain the same status as the souls who did great austerities, penance, and spoke truth just like you. Om Tapasa Ye Anadhrishyasa Tapasa Ye Swaryayuhu Tapo Ye Chakrire Mahastamsti Devapi Gachatat. O great soul, you attain the same status as the souls who did great sacrifices, who underwent great hardships to attain nobility. Om Ye Yuyidhyante Pradhaneshu Suraso Ye Tanu Tyajaha Ye Va Sahasra Dakshinam Stamsti Devapi Gachathat. O great soul, may you attain the same status as the souls who sacrifice their bodies in a noble cause for this world and the family and the friends. Om Shionasme Bhava Pradhavya Nukshara Niveshini Jichasme Sarma Sapradha. O soul, if your actions make you come back to this world, let this world be free of any thorny difficulties for you, and let this world provide you good accommodation with ample happiness. Om Apemam Jivam Arudhan Gruhebhya Stam Nirvahata Parigramaditaha Mruturya Masyasi Duta Pacheta Asun Pitribhya Gamyam Jakara. O soul, you realize your journey for this cycle of life is over. Leave your family and relatives who are filled with sadness. This death is the messenger of God which will take you to higher life. Om Prehi Prehi Padavir Purvebhir Yatrana Purve Pitar Pareyuhu Ubha Rajana Sadhayamadanta Yamam Pasyasi Varanam Cha Devam. O great soul, you take or tread the same path which your forefathers have trodden since eternity. This path of forefathers has both life and death. You understand that you are the eternal soul and realize you take this mortal physical body only to experience this world. Some of the verses which are prayers from the soul and messages to the soul also. I'll say a few words about our cremation rituals. We call this cremation in our Hindu scriptures as Antyeshti, the final wish of the soul. It's also called as Naramedham or Pitrumedham. Means we offer the physical body in a yajna, in a fire ritual. Medham is our fire ritual. Pitrumedham means offering the parent's body into the fire. Because fire is a very important aspect of our life according to Hinduism. Because in olden traditions, as soon as we have a household, the first thing we do is go to the parents' house and get a little fire from their house, because the parents already has a fire pit. Every day the fire pit is lit and run 3 times a day. And then the married person will go and take the fire from the parents' fire and establish a new fire in their house. That fire is continuously running all through the life. Every day 3 times you offering is called a yajna havan. Every day we do 3 yajnas, morning, afternoon, evening. So that fire is running all through the life. It's never shut off. From that fire, the fire is brought to the funeral home in which the body is offered. This fire is very important in the scriptures, because everything we see in this world is only from the fire element, including our car, which burns gas and runs a car. It transforms chemical energy into mechanical energy in the body. It transforms the uncooked food into cooked food, and then it transforms it into blood and tissue, which later becomes our energy in the process of metabolism and heat. So constantly fire is doing this transformation. When there is a change, we experience time, and then we experience life. Therefore, life itself is symbolized by fire, change, and all those things are representative of this great fire. So the body is also offered in the fire, so that the body is completely dissolved and the five elements go back to the nature: earth to earth, air to air, water to water, fire to fire, and space to space. And the soul is free, because we believe that the body can become an attachment. When the soul leaves the body can pull back the soul to some extent. So we dissolve the body so that the soul can freely travel to the other world or take another birth to experience the love of God in different places. That is the reason we always dissolve the body in the fire. And this fire is like a rocket fuel which propels the soul to the higher worlds. And then, of course, there they'll take a new birth as a new advanced higher being in the Pitrulokas or ancestral worlds, which are called Bhuvaha, Om Bhur Bhuva Suvaha. That Bhur is another world where the soul can go there, and all the five elements are sent back, and the soul thanks the nature for giving these five elements. And if at all soul wants to come back, it will take the same five elements and form another body. But it's giving back those five elements and saying thank you to the world. As we offer the body in the fire, all the five elements slowly merge into the universe. Soul is saying, thank you for giving me all these five elements. I made this body. I experienced this world and I enjoyed with my family. Now I also realize the love of God, and I can become more closer to the God in the process. Therefore, thank you for giving me these five elements. So it is all symbolically represented in India. They carry the body not in the cars in India, because they believe that the parents carried the kids for so long. As a result, the kids have a responsibility to carry at least one time in their life. They carry on their shoulders, and they travel across the town to the out of the town. The cremation ground is mostly out of the town. So they always had five stops. Each stop, they offer a pinda, and then they cry lots to get out all the sadness inside them. They don't stop the tears in each of the stop. They cry lots. They take this rice ball and disperse in all the four directions, indicating the body is being merged in the four directions in all the universe. Also, these pindas become offering to bugs and bacteria, and of course, they are also life forms. They enjoy that food and bless the soul. In this way, we cannot do that here, so we'll do all the pindas in the casket itself. But this is our tradition. All the elements are slowly dissolved and the traveling. One very important thing is that the parents bring the children to this world, and the father is the one who attracts the soul according to our scriptures. The first birth is always from the father, second birth from the mother, third birth is from the guru, where they take birth in the spiritual life. They're called dujas. When you get spiritually initiated, it's called duja, second birth. So they take birth in the spiritual life, and the fourth birth is in the God itself, in moksha, in salvation. Because the father is attracting the soul into his system, the soul first enters one of the foods father likes. When the father eats that food, soul enters him first, and then it slowly enters the mother. So father acts like an antenna to bring the soul into this world. Therefore, both the parents bring the soul to this world. So they gave birth so that the people can enjoy this world and experience the love of God. So now it's a kid's duty and responsibility to give father another new birth. And that is done by this cremation rituals, where they help father to travel and detach himself from this physical body and all the surroundings and travel ahead to the next life and higher life. So we do this out of gratefulness and thankfulness. Very important rites these are. So it's good that you're all doing and coming here. Thank you. I'll complete with another prayer. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritangamaya. Let us all move from darkness to light, and from from death to deathlessness, from so I'm a little bit after my stroke, my memory and everything is slightly weaker, but I'm trying my best. So, and that completes my prayers. Oh, I'll come at the end and do one more prayer. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ken Kumar, and I would like to call upon Padma Maharaj and Anita. Padma is the sister-in-law of Uncle Anirude, to lead us in the singing of one of his favorite bhajans to Lord Ganesha.
I would like to dedicate this bhajan to my loving brother-in-law. I pray that Baba takes him through this spiritual journey. Jai Sai Ram. Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha.
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 Saisha Sharanam Sharanam Saisha.
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 Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha.
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 Saisha Sharanam Sharanam Saisha.
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 Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha.
Beautifully sung, not only by Mum and Anita, but everyone with us today in the chapel, and for those of who are streaming the service, I'm sure you sang very well as well. So as I heard those bhajans, I really sensed the presence of Uncle Anirude amongst us here. And for that, I think we're all grateful for. So moving right along, in preparing for Uncle Anirude's celebration of life, the family immediately reached out to Mr. Mike Maharaj, the last of the surviving Maharaj brothers, to pay tribute to his beloved brother Anirude. Unfortunately, Uncle Mike could not travel from his home in Edmonton, Alberta, to join us here in Winnipeg due to his health challenges he is currently facing. Uncle Mike, on behalf of the entire family, we pray for your health and that you have a full and speedy recovery. In his absence, Uncle Mike has called upon his oldest niece, Nardia Maharaj, to come up and read the eulogy he has written. Nardia?
Thank you, Ken. It's an honor to read Uncle Anirude's eulogy written in Uncle Mike's words, from one brother's heart to another. My name is Mike Maharaj, Anirude's youngest brother. Anirude was the third sibling of 5 children. Now, it is only one left, and that is me. Anirude was a brilliant young man who attended the Reformed Presbyterian Elementary School. He eventually transferred to the Reformed Mahasabha School, mainly because his uncle was the principal or head teacher. He eventually passed his common entrance examination and was successful to attend Naparima College, one of the more prestigious colleges in Trinidad. Anirude eventually graduated with a grade 1 senior Cambridge certificate. He was the only young man to accomplish the standard in the entire area and surrounding areas where we lived. This was a remarkable achievement. But Anirude showed no pompous signs of achieving this exceptional accomplishment. Anirude loved eating sour, bitter, salty things. It was my job to make him the mango, grapefruit, and tamarind chow. He would point out the mango that I had to use for his chow. However it was done, I had to get that exact mango off the tree to make his chow. After graduating from college with his grade 1 certificate, he got a teaching job, paying $120 per month. He contributed half of his salary to the household and did so faithfully as he knew his family needed the help. Anirude had a quest for success. As a young boy, he would read anything he could get his hands on. He read so many comics that he would wake up at night, sit on his bed, and say, "Hi-ho, silver, bang, bang." I remember Anirude telling me to read and you will succeed. I was 10 years old when he said, "You know, if there is a third world war, it would be because of the Middle East." I never forgot those words, although at the time, I did not know what or where the Middle East was. Anirude married his girlfriend, Shirley Muhammad, and had 4 children, Preen, Lisa, Tracy, and Andrew. And because of his desire to achieve on his own, he immigrated to England, traveling by boat or ship. In England, he graduated with a BSc in economics. He moved to Canada on the insistence of his brothers. He eventually was hired by the federal government as an economist. He was never happy with controlled working hours and being confined to a desk with 4 great walls around him. He wanted freedom. Eventually, he became a real estate professional where he worked until his retirement. As a young boy, he could not even pronounce a single Hindi word. But as a grown-up, he became a Sai Baba devotee. He now knew the Hindi language. He was a vegetarian and a non-alcoholic drinker. He was devoted to Hinduism and Sai Baba. He was even honored with being the president of the Sai Foundation. Anirude believed in natural medicine, so got his doctorate in homeopathy. He always wanted to learn more. He was a good husband and an excellent father. His only disciplinary tool was his mouth. I do not think he ever used the belt. His gentle ways, his pleasant behavior produced 4 gentle, respectful, caring children. His wife, too, is as gentle as he was. Anirude was a good brother, We had good times together. We had a wonderful childhood, an exceptional life together. Now, I must go on, only with memories. All brothers have gone. It is hard, devastating. It hurts tremendously, but life goes on. As much as I do not want to say it, and with deep sorrow and sadness, I say to you, my last brother, goodbye. These are heartfelt words and memories from one brother to another. And on behalf of my mother, Bess, my sister, Sherry, and our children, we are truly grateful for the influence Uncle Anirude has had in our lives. He not just professed empathy, compassion, and forgiveness to others, but exhibited those attributes every day. More than anything, we have always admired his deep, abiding love for his family. He gave them the best gift that a husband and father can give. He nurtured their souls so that they could feel loved and in turn love themselves and others unconditionally. Uncle Anirude was a guiding light, and that light shone bright for us all to follow. Auntie Shirley, Tracy, Lisa, Perrine, and Andrew. His light carries on in each one of you. You are individually and collectively his legacy of love. And Uncle Anirude, we will miss you, but we take solace in knowing that our souls are eternal and we will meet again. Until then, your light will continue to guide us from the love you gave, and we will forever keep you in our heart.
Thank you, Anirude. Well done in expressing Uncle Mike's thoughts and your best wishes from your family to this family that I love and looking at right now. I would now like to take a few minutes to share with you some words of love from two very close and special people to Uncle Anirude. The first, Mr. Anson Sukaran, Uncle Anirude's cousin, who wrote the following. As I pen these lines, my mind is flooded with memories of Anirude, and I am overwhelmed with the grief at his passing. Distance does not in any way diminish the sense of loss I share with Shirley, Perrine, Lisa, Tracy, and Andrew. Anirude was my cousin, but he was more my brother. He could not have been closer. As a young man, he spent as much time living with us as he did with his parents. He and my brother Merlin were inseparable and got into all the mischief and escapades that young boys do. His father was my favorite uncle, Raghu, was a pundit and was known for his ability to exercise persons needing such help. This was usually done in his puja room, and as children, it was a place we avoided. Never known for his bravery in such matters, Anirude went into the room one day and rushed out scared as he could be. He never spoke about it, but never ventured there again. If he had to walk past the cemetery at night, Anirude would detour a mile to avoid it. As a young boy, Anirude was a bit chubby, and he was fondly and affectionately referred to as Fats. He grew up with no size to justify that name, but even today, it is still a name that has stuck within the family. Anirude always stood out from the crowd. He was academically brilliant and self-confident. When we left Trinidad, we were both students in London. We spent many evenings with friends discussing politics and every other topic. Our arguments were friendly but heated. We thought we could save the world. Anirude even brought logic and reason to the discussions and never lost his cool. He never, ever lost an argument. With his ability and elegance, I thought he would have gone into Trinidad politics, but Canada beckoned. Many of those friends are today senior politicians and successful professionals. Anirude always had a way with people, even as a young man. Our Uncle Lionel Sukaran was a formidable politician and stern disciplinarian whom we attended to avoid, but Anirude could always get in his way with him. When he wanted to borrow one of his cars, Anirude would always negotiate with him successfully. We thought his greatest test would be when he had to ask Shirley's father for her hand in marriage, another formidable man. But he saw in Anirude the dignity and integrity that was his character, and the rest is history. Anirude was a man of strong spiritual and moral values, qualities he has passed on to his family. He could have been successful in anything he wanted, but his greatest success has been his wonderful wife and children. Nothing was more important than Shirley and their children. I speak on behalf of all our family members located in different parts of the world, but we are all here in spirit. It is said that to live in the hearts of those you leave behind is not to die, and Anirude will live in our hearts forever. Very well written and articulate, Uncle Anson, and thank you for sharing those wonderful memories and words. The second letter is from Uncle Anirude's nearest and dearest friend, Chuck Armanbot, but I stand corrected, thank you. And he writes, I met Anirude 45 years ago while we worked in real estate together. We became instant friends after I mentioned to him I had a dream about him all dressed in purple robes, sitting and giving teachings. Throughout the years, we had many spirited conversations about beliefs, spirituality, and death, many of them over his 4 doubles and solo drink at our favorite Caribbean restaurant. His beliefs and spiritual guidance were an integral part of my spiritual growth, for which I will forever be grateful to him. Each of you will have your own views of Anirude. Mine was that he was a dear friend, always ready for listening to my opinions and thoughts. Not that he always agreed with them. Our friendship was based on spirituality. It will continue through the ages, as I am sure it began many lives ago. I will miss our talks, our walks in the park, and our sightseeing drives around Winnipeg. Anirude, you will always occupy a small part of my heart. We always wondered where we would end up after we died. I hope you are in a place filled with bright rainbows and the blinding light and love of the Supreme. I'm sure we will finally have all your questions answered. P.S. Could you send me the answer sheet, please? Chuck. Again, very beautiful words. Thank you, Chuck, for sharing. I would now like to invite up not only a very close friend to Uncle Anirude, but to the entire Maharaj family, Mr. Dr. Shiva Halley.
Sarah, when we came here in 1986 with a young wife who was 25 years old, the daughter was about 6 months old. The first family we met in the first week was Anirude and Shirley. You know, we have had a lot of intense interaction for the last 35 years. I can talk forever, but I just have to finish in 5 minutes. I just would like to focus on some very different qualities. So if you look at his family background, as his his uncle said, he comes from an Orthodox Brahmin family. and his father was a Pandit. And his brother Hollis, when he got married, according to his father's arrangement with another Brahmin family. But Anirude was always different. When he met his lifelong companion and spiritual partner, he went to his father and told, it seems, you can evaluate this girl, you can reject her based on any criteria you want, whether it is beauty, brain, qualities, but that has to be other than religion. So, as his uncle said, he could get away with anything because he was so right, whatever he said and believed. And another thing I found him very different is, most of us are very scared of talking about death. For him, like every time I meet, as if he was romancing with death. And about 10, 15 years back, when he was not really doing well and he was not enjoying life, he told me, Shiva, I'm ready to go. As if he was going to meet his lover. But it seems his Sadguru, Sai Baba, came in his dream and told him, I'm extending your life up to 79 years old so that you can burn all your karmas and don't have to come back. Sure enough, as if he was controlling his death. We have saying in our language, only realized soul, they know when they have to come and when they have to leave. So one day before his 80th birthday, in front of all his family, he left this physical body. But he was also very, Shirley, and he gave very different samskar to his family. Whenever I first, that Lisa was maybe around, Pareen was about 20 years old, Rohini was 25 years old. When I met them, these girls, I learned how to greet people and family. They gave me such a warm hug. And for more than 30 seconds, they hug. As if they are making soul-to-soul contact. I get that kind of feeling, whenever you see a baby which is less than 1 year old, irrespective of its color, creed, and you don't have to know the baby. When the baby smiles, you smile instantaneously. When the baby waves, you wave your hand. So that kind of feeling I get when I hug them. The very little things I learned so many. Finally, I would like to also, in 1 minute, give my tribute to him. Anirude, as if he wanted to give me instant recognition in the community and identity. In the first year of my arrival here, I was just less than 35 years old, young assistant professor with a young family. And 86, I came 87 December or January, that term of the president of the Sai Center was expiring. I think we were having a Shivratri Bhajan. He called me, Shiva, would you like to become a president of the Sai Center? I just laughed at him, just smiling. I said, why are you smiling? I thought you were making fun of me. So why should I make fun of you? Look at here, there are a lot of veterans. Venkatraman was there, Vedanand was there, that Ramesh Gupta was there, Shab Mathur was there, Chris Sadhana was there. There are lots of veterans, I had just come 1 year back. So I want you to become president of the Sai Center. I said, okay, if that's what you want. So then he was my guide. He was my strategist. He was my planner. I was just implementing his ideas. Because that year was very profound year in the history of Sai Center. That was the first Western Canada retreat. And after my term, those days getting a second term was very difficult. He said, Shiva, I'd like to continue for another 2 years. Whatever he could do, whatever he could do it. He's just, such an important, integral part of the Sai Center. You thought first term was a challenge. Second term, I'm going to make you even more challenging. Your treasurer will be person who owns a chartered accountancy firm. Hollies. I used to be scared of Hollies. And your secretary, the professor of mathematics, and he was a pandit of Hindu temple, Venkatraman, working with these people. Yet I could do it because of him. So I'm ever grateful to him and his family for adopting us and being part of that family. I miss my friend. I miss your guide. I miss your spiritual guidance. So, thank you. Finally, goodbye to you.
Thank you, Uncle Siva. I know that the family and Uncle Anirude have a lot of respect for you and Rohini, and I know that Uncle Anirude always looks forward to your visits. I know you visited him quite frequently, especially in the last few days, and on behalf of the family, they thank you and love you both very much. If I can now ask the funeral home to play one of Uncle Anirude's beloved songs he loved growing up as a boy.
रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम 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 भज प्यारे तू 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 सीताराम रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम ईश्वर अल्लाह तेरो नाम सबको सन्मति दे भगवान ईश्वर अल्लाह तेरो नाम सबको सन्मति दे भगवान ईश्वर अल्लाह तेरो नाम सबको सम्मति दे भगवान ईश्वर अल्लाह तेरो नाम सबको सम्मति दे भगवान
I would now like to call upon a lady by the name of Cindy Mohammed, technically who was Uncle Anirude's sister-in-law, but I know he felt more like you were his daughter, to come up and share some of your memories and thoughts of Uncle Anirude.
Good afternoon, Sairam. My name is Cindy. I am Shirley's brother's wife, and proud to say also Shirley's sister. Because of COVID, my husband and I wasn't able to visit Anirude in the past 2 years, and that makes us very sad. But the last time we visited, we were especially blessed to spend quality time with him. We took him to his doctor's appointment. I was fortunate enough to get a chance to cook the things he wanted to eat. It warmed my heart to see him enjoy the simple, back home comfort foods he told me like his mama used to make. We took him to his favorite roti shop, and I took pleasure in watching him eat because I knew it was nourishing his failing body. Anirude, when we first met, I was but a child. You welcomed me into your home, your family, and your heart. You treated me with respect and made me feel loved, never judged. You have been an integral part of my life, closer than a brother, more like a father. You have shaped me into who I am today. Your advice I would always value. The times we spent together I cherish. Life is a journey. Now yours have come to an end. I know I shouldn't be sad because you are now free from sorrow and pain, and I would like to believe truly happy once again. But for me, life will never be the same. Alas, we must part, and I must deal with my broken heart. Chapter 2 of the Gita explains, for the soul, there is neither birth nor death at any time. He has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain. So to Shirley, the kids, and everyone who loves Anirude, I say, do not weep. He does not sleep. He is in the thousand winds that blow. He is in the diamond that glitters in the snow. He is in the stars that shine at night. And when you awaken in the morning hush, he is that uplifting rush. Let us smile and wave a hand, for he has only wandered into an unknown land. Those special moments of him will always bring a smile. If only we could have him back for just a little while, then we could sit and talk again just like we used to do. He always meant so very much and always will do too. The fact that he is no longer here will always cause us pain, but he is forever in our hearts until we meet again.
Thank you, Auntie Cindy. At this point, I'd like to call upon Uncle Anirude's children. All right, we may be expecting a special surprise call for someone very, very special. But in the meantime, I'd like to call upon Andrew, Breen, Lisa, and Tracy.
I think I'm going first. the era, the golden era of Hollywood, and the golden era of the Western genre. And his favorite was John Wayne. He watched all the John Wayne movies. From Rio Bravo was his favorite, Stagecoach, Rio Grande, and many others that he watched over and over up to the last, few weeks before his death. And he'll be sitting and watching these Westerns on his iPad. And one of my dad's favorite songs was The Red River Valley. Now, many of you may know this song. It's a standard in many of the Hollywood Westerns. So, Henry Fonda, Gene Autry sang these songs back in the golden era of the 1940s and 50s. And it's my father loved this song. And he even said to me, at my funeral, I want you to sing this song. And I always wanted to sing it for Dad, but I never did. I never learned it or never sang it. And I did a little research on this song, and there's actually the Red River Valley. There's two Red River Valleys in the North American continent, and one extends from Texas to Louisiana, and it's that's the Red River Valley that the Cowboys sang of. But actually, this song is a Manitoba folk song, and it was written by a Métis woman who was basically grieving for her lover, who was a soldier fighting in the Red River Expedition. So it was a song mourning her lover. But so the song actually is about the Red River Valley of Manitoba. But my father didn't know that as a young man watching the Westerns. It was about Texas. But it's just so fitting. And so he wanted me to sing this song for him, and I'm going to sing it. My voice may be a little bit shaky, but I want you to listen to the lyrics, because for me, this song feels like it was written for this moment for my dad. So if I can find my... From this valley they say you are going, I will miss your bright eyes and sweet smile. For they say you are taking the sunshine that has brightened our path all the while. Do you think of this valley you're leaving? Oh, how lonely and dreary it will be. Do you think of the fond heart you're breaking, and the sadness you cast over me? For a long time, my dear, I've been waiting for the words that you never would say. And alas, my poor heart, you are breaking. For they tell me you're going away. As you go to your home by the ocean, may you never forget those sweet hours that we spent in the Red River Valley, and the love we exchanged mid the flowers. Come and sit by my side if you love me. Do not hasten to bid me adieu, but remember the Red River Valley and and the ones who have loved you so true. Oh, and I think that we have a message from my 3 children, my dad's only grandchildren. I believe that there's a video queued for that.
Aja, I wish I could just spend one more time with you.
We have the
I'll
audio.
always remember you're thoughtful, patient, and kind. I'll also remember, more importantly, shut your mouth, go away, mama, look at boo boo day. Till next time, Aja. Aja, I really enjoyed spending time with you this summer and all the other summers. I know you were really sick, but you made such an effort to be with us. I miss you and I love you.
Aja, I can't believe you're gone. I will always remember when you used to lay in bed with us and tell us stories. I will remember you always, and thank you for the curly hair.
Hello, everybody. I know you all know me, but I'm going to introduce myself for all those people who are watching us on the live feed. I'm Pareen, Anirude's eldest daughter. Of all the things that my dad, the eternal cowboy, taught me, the thing that will remain with me always is this: I am God, I am Sat Chit Ananda, I am Param Brahma. Although Dad was struggling with illness for the last few years of our lives, I secretly believed him to be immortal. As Uncle Shiva said, he told us many years ago that he had a dream in which his guru, Sai Baba, came to him and told him, I am extending your life. You have work to do. You will live to 79 years. He would remind us of this dream throughout the years, and I had always say to myself, dreams are open to interpretation. It doesn't really mean anything. But somewhere inside of me, I was counting the years. He left this world on November 17th, the day before his 79th birthday. My dad was a gem of a speaker. As many of you know, he could mesmerize a large crowd or small gathering with his stories of the past, world history and events, and all things spiritual and beyond this realm. He seemed to know something about everything, and we never needed to pull out a map or search Google, or in the old days, pull down the encyclopedia or the dictionary. All we had to do is say, hey, Dad, and he had the answer. The life he chose and charted before he came into the world, and the life that we shared with him, was an adventure. It was magical, sometimes challenging, and so often sublime. Dad, you gave so much to us, and most of all, you gave yourself. Lisa, Tracy, Andrew, and I always knew that we were the center of your life. You were always there for us when we needed something. You believed so much in us, and you encouraged us to be true to ourselves. You valued us for all that we were and never discouraged us from following our heart's callings. You taught us to love with an open heart, to see the best in people, to always forgive and never hold a grudge. Mom is going to have to chart a new life now, a life without you, and I can't imagine how hard that will be. You were her husband, her best friend, her partner in exploration. I remember you both sitting for hours in the morning over coffee, talking about life and God, the spiritual, the mystical, and the magical, and she is going to miss you so completely. You told us once, the most important journey we have to make in our lives is from the head to the heart. And though it is such a short distance, it is the most difficult and profound journey we will ever make. And I watched you make that journey in this life. And that helped me to understand the nuances of that journey. And it is a journey that I hope to complete in this lifetime, as I believe you did. Dad did not have a mind for spatial and mechanical things, as I'm sure you all know. I remember when my family was coming to Toronto to see Lisa and I shortly after we moved there, and they were bringing with them one of those old big style box TVs, all their travel stuff and various other things. Dad and Andrew spent hours trying to pack the trunk, and it was getting dark and the sun was starting to set. And finally, they just gave up, went into the house and told Mom, there is no way this is going to work. We'll have to leave the TV behind. Mom put on her shoots and her coat, went out to the car and had it packed, TV and all, in a half hour. Dad, we love you so deeply. Andrew will see you in moments in his children, in the things they say and do, in the way Adrian walks with his hands folded behind his back, in his corny sense of humor, his sensitive and gentle nature, and his stubborn conviction. In Julia's playfulness, her mischievousness, her twinkling eyes and beautiful smile. In Amira's shyness, her extreme awareness and powers of observation, and in her emotional intelligence and her curly hair. And they will come to know you through their father's intelligence and gentleness and great sense of humor. Lisa will honor you with her sharp mind and careful and balanced thought processes, and by her eloquent speech. And Tracy will carry on your legacy of service and caring deeply for others, reaching into them with her words and her smile and her sparkling eyes, just as you did. I hope I will carry on your gift by telling stories and using my words to uplift, and by living in the magic of life. A client of ours told me the other day that she will never forget you. She met you for the first time when she was arriving at Lotus House and you were leaving. She parked and walked up the sidewalk to avoid stepping on the grass. You passed her on the path, looked up at her, and said in your deep and resonant voice, you know, grass was meant for walking on. She said it touched her so deeply she has never forgotten it, because it reconnected her to nature in a way she hadn't been connected since she was a child. And to this day, she will remind herself that grass is meant for walking on. Okay. You were funny. You were very humorous and you loved to laugh. I remember you and your brothers and Uncle Shafiq sometimes laughing so hard I thought you would explode. So to honor your scorpion, slightly dark and slightly inappropriate sense of humor, I want to share a story. I hope you don't mind. And I know probably everybody in the room has heard this story, but I know there are a lot of people that are watching with us right now that haven't. So I'm going to tell the story the best I can. Tracy and I were at work, and we got this phone call from Mom. It was probably half an hour before we were leaving work, and we got a phone call from Mom, and she told us this story. She said, okay, let me put this in context. Dad had a fall, so he had lost a lot of weight. So he went to Price Choppers on Pembina Highway to get water. Now I'm going to step out here to show you. So So we had these 10-liter water jugs. So they're pretty heavy, and he's got one in each hand and they're full. And he's walking out of the store, and suddenly he has to sneeze. So he pulls his breath and takes a deep breath, and his pants fall down around his ankles. And he's in the middle of Price Choppers with these 2 water bottles. He can't pull his pants up unless he drops the water bottles. And he's mortified. So Mom called us and told us this. So we get home half an hour later, and Dad's sitting in the den with his glasses on doing something. And I come and I'm like, Dad, you are not going to believe this. And he's like, what? And I said, we just drove past Price Choppers. They changed the name of the store. He said, what do you mean? And I said, they changed it to Pants Droppers. Beet red. My dad, well, yeah, his face went beet red. His mouth kind of twisted to the side. He put his head down and buried his head in his book. But Dad, I remember you telling me this story. You were a little boy in Trinidad laying in the back of Papa's truck in a field at night, waiting for him to come back from whatever he was attending to. You were looking up at the deep black night sky, and a star in the sky exploded and came down in a trail of light, and that light filled your body. You said in that moment you felt you were one with the universe, and you felt your heart burst open. That's how I see you now. You are one with the universe, and your heart has burst open, and that is a beautiful thing. You are free now of this earthbound existence, And I imagine that you were soaring and skipping and doing all the things you loved to do when you were here. You're riding your horse across vast fields, eating okra, maybe tending to a plot of beautiful vegetables, exploring other real cities, cracking open a cold beer, reading big books of secret knowledge, dancing and enjoying music, holding counsel with angels and guides, and kissing the feet of God. I know you were joyous. I will miss you forever and ever, as I know my mom and my sisters and brother will. You were and are the heartbeat of this family, and that heartbeat will never stop. It has just skipped a beat. Goodbye, Papa.
So I'm Lisa, Anirude's second daughter. My dad would have loved this. He had a real fascination with funerals. After attending a funeral, he would often say, "That was a beautiful funeral," or "The funeral was very good," and continue to give his analysis. Actually, often after a particularly enjoyable wedding, he would say, "That funeral was awesome." And one of us or the other would say, teasing him, "Dad, that was a wedding, not a funeral." Papa, there's so much I could say to you about what a wonderful dad, friend, and teacher you were, about how you accepted us all for who we were and what we chose in our lives, which was not always easy, probably, and how you celebrated us with your words, your memories of us, your pride in whatever gifts we had, great or small, about how you put us first in your life and always tried to make life an adventure when we were kids. I could go on forever about this, but my sis, Perrine, has said it all so eloquently. What I really want to say to you is that after you left, it was as if my eyes were opened, and I saw with great clarity who you are and what you have achieved. If in life I was sometimes disappointed for you, saddened that you had to suffer, heartbroken for you when life seemed cruel, I see it all so differently now. I know that you achieved everything you came here to achieve, even when it was dark or painful or challenging. All the while, you were doing what you had to do and experiencing what you had to experience to chisel away at yourself to reveal the diamond that you are. And you knew that you always had faith. When you left, all of the lessons you had to share came flooding home to me. You never told any of us who to be in life, but in death you have revealed to me who you are and who I will always aspire to be. You are innocent, always believing even when life hits you hard. You are forgiveness. You never held a grudge, no matter what someone may have done to hurt you. You are fortitude. You faced it all with courage and clear, intelligent awareness. You are love. You shared love with everyone without reserve. You are spirit, never really at home here, but now you are home. When you were a little boy and you lay in the back of Papa's pickup and experienced that divine celestial connection to the star that came down from the inky island sky, in that moment, you felt the oneness of yourself in the universe. For the rest of your life, you reached to the heavens, seeking that celestial wonder. And I know you are experiencing it now, and that you now know that brilliant star is you.
This was my dad's favorite passage from the Bible, and it speaks volumes about who he was. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be satisfied. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Blessed are the pure of heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called the Son of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people insult you, persecute you, and falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me. Rejoice and be glad, because great is your reward in heaven, for in the same way they persecuted the prophets who were before you. Saram, my Papa.
Thank you, Preen, Lisa, Tracy, and Andrew. For me, as I heard these words are such powerful, can exude such powerful feeling, whether it's to make you feel good or bad. And both lyrics, as Andrew said, I think that those lyrics were very fitting for Uncle Anirude and for the words from love of his 3 children. Well said. I know for me, Uncle Anirude, I've known him for over 30 years, and both his words and his actions were very consistent in terms of his belief and his love for his family, and not just his blood family, but he opened his heart, and the rest of his family opened their hearts to the people who they really, really care about, and they eventually became family. At this point in time, I'd like to ask the video technician if you wouldn't mind playing the family pictures so that we can all reminisce on good times with Uncle Henry.
Didn't know today would be our last, or that I'd have to say goodbye to you so fast. I'm so numb I can't feel anymore. I'm praying you just walk back through that door and tell me that I was only dreaming. You're not really gone as long as I believe. There will be another angel around the throne tonight. Your love lives on inside of me, and I will hold on tight. It's not my place to question, only God knows why. I'm just jealous of the angels around the throne tonight. Always made my troubles feel so small, and you were always there to catch me when I'd fall. In a world where heroes come and go, well, God just took the only one I know. So I'll hold you as close as I can, longing for the day when I see your face again. But until then, just need another angel around the throne tonight. Your love lives on inside of me, and I will hold on tight. It's not my place to question, only God knows why. I'm just jealous of the angels around the throne tonight, singing hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. I'm just jealous of the angels around the throne tonight.
If I can ask at this point, just so that we can share some family pictures to reminisce, would be appropriate time now. Thank you.
I'll never let you see the way my broken heart is hurting me. I've got my pride and I know how to hide all my sorrow and pain. I'll do my crying in the rain. If I wait for cloudy skies, you won't know the rain from the tears in my eyes. You'll never know that I still love you so, though the heartaches remain. I'll do my crying in the rain. Raindrops falling from heaven could never wash away my misery. But since we're not together, I look for stormy weather to hide these tears I hope you'll never see. Someday when my crying's done, I'm gonna wear a smile and walk in the sun. I may be a fool, but till then, darling, you never see me complain. I'll do my crying in the rain. I'll do my crying in the rain. I'll do my crying in the rain.
Day after day, I must face a world of strangers where I don't belong, and that it's wrong. It's nice to know that there's someone I can turn to who will always care. You're always there when there's no getting over that rainbow. When my smallest of dreams won't come true, I can't take all the madness the world has to give, but I won't last a day without you. So many times when the city seems to be without a friendly face, a lonely place, it's nice to know that you'll be there if I need you, and you'll always smile. It's all worthwhile when there's no getting over that rainbow. When my smallest of dreams won't come true, I can't take all the madness the world has to give, but I won't last a day without you. Touch me and I end up singing. Troubles seem to up and disappear. You touch me with the love you're bringing. I can't really lose when you're near. When you're near, my love. If all my friends have forgotten half their promises, they're not unkind, just hard to find. One look at you and I know that I could learn to live without the rest. I've found the best when there's no getting over that rainbow. When my smallest of dreams won't come true, I can't take all the madness the world has to give, but I won't last a day without you. When there's no getting over that rainbow, when my smallest of dreams won't come true, I can't take all the madness the world has to give, but I won't last a day without you. Won't last a day without you. Without you. I can think of younger days when living for my life was everything a man could want to do. I could never see tomorrow, but I was never told about the sorrows. How can you mend the broken hearts? How can you stop the rain from falling down? How can you stop the sun from shining? What makes the world go round? How can you mend this broken man? How can a loser ever win? Please help me mend my broken heart and let me live again. I can still feel the breeze that rustles through the trees and misty memories of days gone by. We could never see tomorrow. No one said a word about the sorrow. How can you mend the broken heart? How can you stop the rain from falling down? How can you stop the sun from shining? What makes the world go round? And how can you mend this broken man? How can a loser ever win? Please help me mend my broken heart and let me live again. Please help me mend my broken heart and let me live again. Da 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 da.
Adios, amigo. Adios, my friend. The road we have traveled has come to an end. When two love the same love, one love has to lose, and it's you who she longs for, it's you she will choose. Adios, compadre, what must be, must be. Remember to name one muchacho for me.
As the saying goes, a picture is worth 1,000 words, but I would also add that a picture is worth 100,000 memories, and that was beautiful. At this point, I'd like to call Pandit Venkat up for the last rites, and then I'll come back and we'll wrap things up.
Sairam again. The meaning of Anirude is unstoppable, unobstructed, or self-willed, and it is the name both for Vishnu and Lord Shiva. Just want to complete the prayers, final prayers. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritangamaya. This prayer very much applies to Anirudhji because he always tried to learn about truth. So he moved from untruth to truth, and then he always tried to move away from darkness to light. And then I definitely believe that he has conquered the death that become from death to deathlessness. So I believe that he has achieved that by his spirituality. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. The essence of this sloka is that completion in everything. And I feel that he has achieved his mission of finding God and spirituality. So with that, Om Shantihi Shantihi Shantihi. Then we'll ask him to say whatever next. We will do the right thing.
Okay, before we get into the last rites, Auntie Shirley and this, I guess, just a final word. I'd like to acknowledge or communicate to Andrew's children, Anne-Marie, Amira, Julia, and Adrian. Your aunties and Aji asked me to say these thoughts and words to you. Just know that as you grow, your Aja will always be with you in your hearts. He loved you three very, very much. And I know that you wanted to be here, but unfortunately you couldn't. But just know that your Aja will always be with each of you three, and as you grow into teenagers and adults. So this concludes this part of the service. So before I let Pandit Venkat conclude with the last rites, I'd just like to say on behalf of Auntie Shirley, Breen, Lisa, Tracy, and Andrew, they would like to thank all friends and family, both viewing the service over the internet, and to those who were able to join us here today in the chapel, our deepest thanks and gratitude in taking the time to celebrate with them the life and legacy of our husband and father, Anirude Maharaj.
So we will do the rites with the sun. If you want to participate, you can also participate. And I want you to come. So maybe you can take off the shoes if it is easy. So we will move this cart to the front. It's not rollers, so it's not hard. We'll move this over. Now the whole cart, we're going to put it here. Slowly. And we'll put it here. No, here is good. Here is good. In India, they made the son do it, but I believe both sons and daughters can participate in the ritual. So if anybody of your sisters want to come, they can also come. Or if they want to sit down, they can sit down too. Om apavitra pavitro va sarvavasthagadavyo yasmaret punta. तस्मै सुन्दरीकाक्षं सभाख्याभ्यन्तरशुचिः उत्तिष्ठन्तु भूतपिशाचा एते भूमिभारका एते च विरोधेन मम कर्मसमारभे अग्निरिति भस्मं वायुरिति भस्मं जलमिति भस्मं स्थलमिति भस्मं व्योमेति भस्मं सर्वगं हवा इदं भस्मं भूतिरि भूतिकरि पवित्रजननी पापोध्वंसनी सर्वोपद्रवाणि सर्वार्थ संपत्ति तेजो राज्य विशेष भूषणगिरिभूत सदा पावनः भस्मान् धारय. I will hold flowers. These are the flowers here. So we are going to do a prayer to the gods to bless this occasion in this ritual. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sai Suraya Vidmehi Dacha Devaya Dhimatanna Sarva Prachodayat. Om Shantakaram Bhujagas. You can turn towards your father, towards his heart. Where his heart is, you can both stand there. Om Shantakaram Bhujagasenam Padmanabham Suresham Viswadharam Gagana Sadrisam Meghavarnam Subhangam Lakshmi Kantam Kamalanenam Yogi Vrjanagamyam Vande Vishnum Bhavabhayaharam Sarvalokaikanaatham. So what we are going to do is we are going to state our purpose, which is to do the final rites to the body and then evolve him into the higher worlds. We know that he is very spiritual, but for a ritual sake, we'll do it same way as it is written. So we're going to make a sankalpa. That is what is our purpose today, is to help your dad in any way you can. So evam guna viseshana visishtayam subhadidhau Sriman. Tell your name. Andrew. Andrew namadheyasya Prem namadhevati. Tell your names too. Tracy and Lisa namadhevati. All your families participating with this for your father. अस्माकं सहकुटुम्बानां क्षेमस्सर्य विजयारार्य ऐश्वर्याभिवृद्धिं धर्मार्थकामं चतुर्विधफलपुरुषार्थसिद्ध्यर्थं पुत्रपौत्राः सकलविधमनोवाञ्छफलसिद्ध्यर्थं अन्त्येष्टि कर्म अहं करिष्ये. Now offer those flowers onto his heart. There is Ganga here. We are going to add a little bit of tulsi for sanctification. Add a little bit of this into this. And put one flower in there, one whole flower. So our purpose is to, in India they bathe the body, but here it's a different situation, but we can still do it as a ritual by sprinkling the water. So you take the flower and flower water will come, so you just sprinkle a little bit like that. Maybe we should open this side where Aaron is. If you can take off these flowers. One of the film directors know how to open it, but it's not hard to do it, but I think. There's a small latch on the side, I think. Okay. Now you're going to sprinkle all over his body. I'm not sure, does he remember his gotra? Same gotra for you also. What is a gotra? Remember? I'll just say Kashyapa gotra. It's common for everybody can use universal. I'll use that gotra. Kashyapa gotrasya Anirude predasya mridisthana shavanimitta snanam maya dhiyate tavopatishthitam. Sprinkle on him. This is Chandan. We're going to put this one on his heart. So Chandanam is a very sacred tree for Hindus or anybody. It's very good smelling. But the nature of Chandan is you constantly rub. You rub on a stone and you take that nice paste and you apply on it and it slowly, of course, disappears and diffuses. Similarly, the body is used The same way it's constantly rubbed in the process of time, and it slowly dissolves. In the process, it gives a nice smell, like it is giving all the loving actions, wisdom, and care for all the family and society. All that is being done by the body. It's supposed to be done like that, sacrificing way. So to indicate that he has done this, constantly giving good smell of good actions and loving and wisdom to other people, we are going to offer this chandan, remembering all that. Kashyapa Gotrasya Anirudh Mridishane Sevanimitta Gandham Maya Dhyate Tavopatishtitam. You already put it? Okay, good. Now there's a flower garland there. So this is a flower garland you're going to put across his neck. I'll just stand first and then you put it. So the garland represents a series of flowers which represent the series of noble and loving actions he has done towards the society and the family and the friends. So you're going to, remembering all that love he has shown, we are going to offer this flower garland. Kashyapa Gotrasya Anirudh Mrisane Shavanimita Pushpamala Maya Dhyate Tavo Patishtitam. You can also touch the garland. And this holy ash, this represents everything we experience in this world through all the senses is ultimately burnt, and it becomes a white holy ash of happiness. Yeah. So apply it on his forehead and then sprinkle on his body. Okay. Kasyapa Gotrasya Anirudh Mritisana Shavanimitta Bhasmam Maya Dhyate Tavo Patishtitam. You have to find a way to go around him. So I'm thinking how to do that. So we have to maybe see how we can move a little space for ourselves. I think I can move this table. Here. And this bouquet will remove it and keep it maybe somewhere there. So you can go around the photo also is okay.
How many times?
3 times. Both of you can go. 1 second, wait. We're just going to chant this mantra. We're going to make a purpose and intent for everything we do. So here we are telling your father that you lost your father, and of course your father lost all the community and the family members. So he also feels in a way a little sadness. So that sadness, the sadness appears in the form of darkness in the path. So we are trying to light up his path by this lamp, which is your love and prayers. Your love and prayers will light up his path so that he can travel to the higher world, we believe. Yamadware Mahaghore Andhena Tamasavrude Tatravalokanarthaya Deepo Yamopatishtitam. Kashyapa Gotrasya Anirudh Mritisana Shavanimitta Deepam Maya Dhiyate Tavopatishtitam. We are showing him the lamp on his path. What is this? As I was telling earlier, that in India they walked across the town and they stopped 5 times, and then at each time they put one pinda and they threw that in the 4 directions to disperse the body into the nature. Here we are just going to put in the 4 corners of the casket. We're not throwing anywhere. So start from that corner, 1, 2, 3, 4. Start from that corner, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just put on the 4 corners as symbolic of whatever we're doing in India. कश्यप गोत्रस्य अनिरुद्धप्रमितिसन शवनिमित्त एषित पिंड मया धीते तवोपतिष्ठिताम्. 1 second, one after another mantra. With the mantra we'll do it. One person is done, so wait. Every time I chant a mantra, you're going to put one on one corner. सर्य चक्षु गच्छतु वातमात्माद्यं च गच्छतु पृथिवी च धर्मना आपो वा गच्छयति तत्र ते हितम् ओषधिषु प्रतिष्ठा शरीरैः. कश्यप गोत्रस्य अनिरुद्ध प्रदेशे द्वारदेशे पान्धनिमित्ते एषते पिण्डं मया धीते. Now you put it, second one. पिण्डं मया धीते तवोपतिष्ठिताम्. Now we're going to put third one in this corner. कश्यप गोत्रस्य अनिरुद्ध प्रदेशे चत्वारे खेचर निमित्ते एषते पिण्डं मया धीते तवोपतिष्ठिताम्. The third one. What number you are in?
Third.
Okay, good. You can put this corner. We're going in a side. That doesn't matter. It's okay. We're just going in a series, one after another, connectively. Okay, now we're going to go to the fourth one. कश्यप गोत्रस्य अनिरुद्ध प्रदेश विश्वान्धो भूतनाम्ना निमित्त एषते पिण्डं मया धीते तवोपतिष्ठिताम्. You can put it now. So the last one is going to be in near his right hand, because we believe we cannot even carry our body anywhere after death. So the only thing we carry is our good karmas, good actions, all the things we did good. People remember, and as long as they are good karmas are remembered, the soul will be blessed that much long. Some good karma you did was lasting for a longest time. That long time you are blessed to stay in a heavenly abodes, our scripture says. So now, in addition to all the good karma he has done, the family always supports with their good karmas. They do their prayers. They add that to the father's good karmas. All of them will go with him as a blessing. So we're going to put that in the near the right hand. कश्यप गोत्रस्य अनिरुद्ध प्रदेशे शवहस्ते साधक निमित्त एषते पिण्डं मया धीते. Near his right hand. I know it's hard to put in there, but just near the right hand. And now we are going to do a havan, but without fire. So we have this sticks. So we're going to open the sticks. You can offer this, everything here can be offered into the around him, because we don't want this to This is one camphor. Use one camphor in the beginning, indicating that it's a fire, but there's no fire. Still, we are the mantra we are imagining. Where you put the chandan, sandalwood stick, put this camphor there itself. After now, I chant the mantra. Om BhurabhuvasvaromitI Agnim Pratisthapya. We are establishing and invoking the fire. Put that camphor. No, I thought we put the chandan stick on the heart. Yeah. So now these sticks you can offer alternatively, because for each swaha you're going to offer, and there's also the samagri. You have to open that one too. Now there's samagri too. There's samagri. That powder in there, that need to be also used.
And then just sprinkle that.
Sprinkle all around it.
Each time you say.
When I say swaha, and we want to complete all the offerings. Except we'll keep a little bit I need a little bit of this one left. That one I'll ask all your family members to clean his mouth. So, but we want to, this one we want to leave a little bit.
This one too?
Everything is going except the rice. I'll make you do after the hour. Before you do that, actually, I want to do the rice. We already started that. We can do that one. Offer all the things. That water is going to stay. That's all going to go in there, except this rice you leave it here, and this one also can go there. Here also is going there. I'll tell you step by step. And this is also going. I'll start chanting that swahas and then you offer. Om Lomabhyas Swaha Tvache Swaha Lohitaya Swaha Medobhyas Swaha Mamsebhyas Swaha Stanubhyas Swaha Astibhyas Swaha Majjabhyas Swaha Redase Swaha Payave Swaha Ayasaya Swaha Prayasaya Swaha Samyaya Swaha Vyasaya Swaha उद्याय स्वाहा उद्यसाय स्वाहा शुचे स्वाहा शोचते स्वाहा शोचमानाय स्वाहा शोकाय स्वाहा तपसे स्वाहा तप्यते स्वाहा तप्यमानाय स्वाहा तप्ताय स्वाहा धर्माय स्वाहा निष्कृत्यै स्वाहा प्रायश्चित्यै स्वाहा भेषजाय स्वाहा यमाय स्वाहा अंतकाय स्वाहा मृत्यवे स्वाहा ब्रह्मणे स्वाहा ब्रह्महत्यायै स्वाहा विश्वेभ्यो देवेभ्य स्वाहा ध्यावा पृथ्वीभ्य स्वाहा प्रेतपाय स्वाहा Pratibhuvaye swaha, Pratahantryai swaha. You put all of it. You can just leave a little bit. We're going to do a Purnahuti. Or put it all, because we have spoken to put through. Now you're going to offer the key. He can also go all around. Om Chittim cha swaha, Om Chittis cha swaha, Om Akutim cha swaha, Om Akutaye then Om Manasya swaha, Om Sakwaryasya swaha, Sakwarya then Om Dars, offer all of it, nothing should be left. Yeah. Darsasya swaha, Darsa, Radhantaranja swaha, Om Bhu swaha, Agni, Om Bhuva swaha, Suva swaha, Surya, whatever you brought here, we are not taking home. Om Suva swaha, Surya, Om Bhur Bhuva Suva swaha, Prajapate idam namah. So now we're going to, did we have this little bit of this sesame seeds here? I think we have a little bit of it. And this one can go, and this one can go inside. And it's fruits. Don't leave anything left. This one you can almost only be a food. Now all the green now is going to go. And those two coconuts, one near the head, one near the light one, the dry one near the feet, near the head one. Om Sarvam Vai Purnagvam Swaha. Om Sarvam Vai Purnagvam Swaha. Now take this cloth, empty the whole thing, and cover on it completely. Flowers also. You can make, leave the flowers. If anybody want to offer here at the end, we can do that. Don't cover his face until the neck. So now we are, all the ritual is done. So there's one last ritual, that is making the fire. We didn't make the fire here. So there we can take this camphor and light it and there put inside. That's what we will do there. No, the fire will be there. And the rice here. Rice will make the family members offer him this rice near his mouth or near his chin. Something like you're offering him final meals. You can do that. And the family members can do it, like offering mom, your mom can do it. Near his mouth as a final meal. And your family members can go around and touch his feet. And we have to move this one, right? One second. This is in your way. So this one is in your way. Or you can touch like that. Or you can offer all of it, yeah. and you can touch his feet. We always touch elders' feet in Hindu tradition to indicate that we want to walk in their path. Whatever path they traveled was a good path, so we want to follow them. And our life starts from evolution is always from the previous generation to the next generation. So the feet indicates that bottom part, the head indicates the top part. They are going one after another, following their footsteps. So now the only thing is that we are going to be moving this to that crematorium. So at this time, anybody who want to offer a flower on him, there's flowers in their bag. They can offer their final respects. All the members here can offer that flower. Okay, I need that sesame seeds. We had a little left somewhere. It's okay. You can offer flowers like that. We'll keep it there itself. For offering final respects, it's up to you. You're optional. You want to take off or not, doesn't matter. But for rich, we want to take off. We already did that one. It's different countries, so we don't need to follow exactly like India because there are a lot of restrictions. Is there anything you want to add? You can tell me. I'll do it. Do you chant Sai Gayatri or Sai? Are you Gayatri mantra? You know. Okay. So when we're lighting the fire, we're going to chant Gayatri. I'll come there. Before I couldn't come, but I'll come there. We'll light. Okay. The way we're going to do this is, okay, there are some sticks left. We want to put all the sticks. Throw all the garbage in there because we want to clean this is the last part of the session. It's not really nice. I don't think it's nice. You need to put that also.
You put it inside?
Yeah.
I will put it in.
This one, we're going to just naturally go in there. We're going to light this, that place, and this whole thing will go in sandalwood. But right now, put all the inside.
This is going to dance, but.
You can even throw that glass too. Flowers can also turn there. And after everybody is done, we'll offer all the flowers. Okay. Flowers. spread all across. So after we go there, we'll light this one. I think only one is good because there's a lot of fire we'll put this inside.
Can I put it down?
Yeah, except this one. So we're going to act like we are carrying it. So we just go to the corner, it's like push half an inch or quarter inch. That's good, yeah. So now we are done everything here, unless you want to still spend some time. Now we're going to go there, and this is camphor there. We didn't do the fire before. There we're going to. Aaron is going to help. Just let the fire. I'll just come there and I'll chant one mantra, and the fire will be lit, and it will go inside. So we are not going beside it, we are going behind it. The sun can go front.
You can go in the front.
Have to wait for them.
No, you can go before that.
Andrew, just imagine there's a fire you brought from the house.
Okay.
This one, these are the things that accept. You need to sit here, you need to sit here, but accept that. You need to come back here for 1 minute.
Are there stairs after the cremation? Are they going to
Cremation? Just for half a minute.
Okay. Should I continue the live stream for those final prayers?
Yes.
Yeah, you can do it.
Okay.
So we can go behind. Let him go in the front. We want to carry this. You go in the front.
After that. Did you go in the front?
Wait there because we're not ready for I will wait there. I will get everything prepared and I will wait there. So we did all the things that are possible humanly, but there's a lot of things which we don't know, understand, and there's more advanced, higher forces. We did our best for your father, but rest of it, which is mysterious to us, God has to handle, and He has to take over from here. We did our with good intentions, everything we could. So to tell that we are dropping our all effort and thinking at this point, you want to take this sesame seeds? I'm going to put this one in your hand. Sesame seeds is a Saturn's energy. Saturn is a ringed planet. The rings indicate crossing over, that we are crossing over our effort into God's hand now, and your dad is going to travel across the boundaries. So I chant a mantra and you're going to drop them here. ओम कृत्वा सुयुष्कृतां कर्म जानता वाप्य जानता मृत्यु कालवशं प्राप्य नरं पंचतत्त्वमागतः धर्माधर्म समायुक्तं लोहमोह समावृतः देहेयं सर्वगात्राणि दिव्यान् लोकान् आप्नोति। And I'm going to pour some water, and we are going to leave it from here. From here? Here. Okay. Just saying that, for gods we offer like this, for ancestors we offer like this. That's another difference. So that completes. So you're going to go forward. When you go home, you want to take a head shower, and if possible, wash your clothes. Now I'm going to sanctify everybody here with this mantras. Om Apo Hishta Mayu Bhavaha Dana Urje Dadhadana Mahirana Yakshata Yoga Sivata Morasatasya Bhajeti Hanasati Jubandra Tasmadang Mamu Ishita Abu Jale Gange Yamuni Dev Buddha Bhaji Lessons and Abhagitra Pavitra Sarvama Sangha Relation Buddha Yaksham Sabha Gram and Dharapati Uttishtan Buddha Saja Eden Bhulvara Edishavar Samadama Samadha. Just to sanctify everyone. Sanctification is nothing impure about it, but attachments which can bring back the soul here. So we are trying to remove those attachments. That's how the sanctification is about. That completes all our ritual for today.
Thank you, Pundit. And for those who are still with us through the live stream, on behalf of the family again, would like to thank you very much for joining us for the celebration of Uncle Anirude's life. And for those here in the chapel, bid you well and thank you again for attending.